Hey friends, how are you doing? Happy Easter Sunday if you're celebrating. I haven't been on in about 2 to 3 days, and I am very shocked and surprised that what I've seen on the app in terms of Ricksta on Sally and Talia. I mean, Ricksta hasn't been doing the best things on the app within the last couple of days, going to Corey Wiles, going to Eva Queens, going to Levi's, really acting up and acting out, even though if he truly believes he's in the right, there is a wrong way to go about things, and I believe, in my humble opinion, that he went about things in the wrong way. Now, what he's just been doing is completely unjust to Aunt Sally. If Aunt Sally has some reservations about how Talia has been treating her child, and she's spoken out about it, instead of making sure that that child is in good shape, being taken care of, maybe an investigation launched, Ricksta, her own blood, her own nephew, comes out and starts slagging her off. This would never happen in my family. This would be shocking if I ever saw one of my cousins do this to one of my aunts or anything similar. This is just not good behavior. He says that Aunt Sally isn't right for saying and doing these things, but this is the whole thing. If Talia isn't doing what Aunt Sally is saying he's doing, okay, then let there be an investigation. Let's look into it. And if you're not doing something wrong, then what's the problem? This is just my train of thought. I mean, if you're really gonna go at a family member who was there for you in your darkest days, when you had a drinking problem, would send you hundreds of pounds to help you out for gifts, whatnot, etc., 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 be there for you, counsel you, and then you do this, you threaten, you attack, you throw her underneath the bus for somebody you've met for like 7 months or so. How long has Ricksta been going out with Talia? About 7 months or so. Like, this is the type of behavior that is becoming more and more normalized. I keep saying this thing, but it's just getting to me. I think about this a lot, where just a lot of people do certain things and it becomes normalized. They do other things, it becomes normalized, even on the app and IRL. For me, I could never condone this type of behavior, to just attack my aunt online. If whatever she wants to say online, she says online, then I will come up and be like, hey, okay, you're making some good points, let's address this on a panel. If not, I would most likely just do it in person, because this is a family matter and it should just be addressed offline. Let's come to a resolution. Let's have an investigation done. Let's really look into things about what you think might be happening and what you think is the best course in action for me, myself, my partner, my family, because hey, my aunt would be part of my family, so let's work on this together, right? But nope, it is it is something else. It's literally opposite being done online. Now Ricksta is on the side of Talia and they're throwing Aunt Sally underneath the bus. Anyways, here's some clips to kind of give you a sense and idea. You've probably seen these before. If not, hey, I'm putting them on here for context reference so that I can come back to this if I do have to at a later date. Anyways, take care of yourselves, friends. Cheers. Have a good Easter Sunday, and I'll see you later.
I didn't want to make this video. I didn't want to have to continue this, but obviously, Talia, you're not going to stop. You're uncontrollable. You have no self-control whatsoever. And you know the truth of this now, and you know I couldn't know this unless Ricky told me. Instead of going on about me with animals and all the stuff that you're vilely coming out with, why don't, when you lose your temper, you stop pulling your little autistic boy around by the head of his hair? That's what I've been told you do when people... And when you split up, when you're angry, people say things. When she gets in, Ricky's had to tell you to stop. I couldn't know that, could I? How could I know that unless I was told? Of course you're going to call me a liar. But you need to be careful what you're saying about people now, because a lot of little things can come out about you. Stop pulling that boy round by the hair every time you're angry. What was it you were telling us as well? You got put, I heard your story. You got pulled up, took off from the school and told you weren't allowed to be with Ricky. You know it's true, Ricky. You know she said it in your heart. I don't know why they said that about him, because he ain't done nothing to my knowledge down here that you should be carrying on about him. It should be you that watch around the jail, not him. Because he wouldn't touch it. It'd be you. Anyway, make this your last one now. Make it your last one. You silly, silly, horrible little failed singer with a flop record.
There's not one person on this app who knows Sally Livingston. Her name's not Sally Livingston, but we won't go there, right? Her name's Sally, right? I don't know Aunt Sally. I never met Aunt Sally till 2023. Before then, I never seen her since I was a little kid. So for decades of my life, I didn't know this woman. She lived in London. She lived all over the place. And don't forget, she comes from a big family. There's 8 sisters and 5 brothers. When my mum passed away, she runs a rehabilitation centre. She reached out, said, do you want to come down? I was drinking at the time. I weren't in a good place. And I said, yes, please. Yeah, I could do with it. I need to get into rehab. So I went there. I was there for 3.5 months in the rehabilitation centre. She never put me in the main rehab. She let me be in home. And I had to do some detoxes and that, you know what I mean? And so be it. To get, you know what I mean? Well, that's the last time I was ever in Sally's house, staying. I visited her a couple of times after that, a few times after that. But it's the last time I was in her house was 2023. The first and last time I've ever stayed there in a bedroom, that's Sally's. And that was because of rehab. I needed to detox. My mum had just died in in February. I buried her March the 9th. I was in rehab April the 14th. And then I left there at the end of July. That was it. Never stayed there ever again. Do you know what I mean? Now, I could literally throw fucking Sally to the wolves today. I know so much on this woman. Is unreal. I've got videos and stuff that would fucking shock you all into oblivion. And don't think because she's a 71-year-old woman that, you know what I mean? Oh, she's an old woman, Ricksta. No. You came on here yesterday because my girlfriend had a few bits to say because she don't agree with you. They are standing on Evil Queen, standing on all these other creators who mock us and slander us, right? She stood a ground. Fair play to Talia. You then decided to come on and have a go at me and mock me. This is what you decided to do. Mock me, all right? So I'm not going to go into town and rip you a new one out because, like you said, you're in your 70s, but you turned around and said to all these people yesterday, Ricksta is the bullshitter who's known as. Sally, you don't know anybody that I know from Birmingham except for a couple of my brothers who don't even know you because you're not related to them. You're only related to me. You're not related to my bros. And even they don't like you. You know what I mean? Because of things from the past, but we won't go into that. We won't go into other details too, which I could do today and absolutely go to time, but I'm not going to do that because I think that you as an angry old woman, all right, you're still on your little bit of a medication, if I'm correct, for your ADHD, whatever, you've only just started to take, what's it called? Amphetamine, okay? And I believe you probably, when you don't get your own way, Sal, you start getting angry. I see you do it on many occasions. If somebody don't say, and you're like a firing bull, but you're always renowned for saying, when you take the 12 steps, Ricksta, and you've got to try and keep a dignified silence. So dignified silence, don't react, don't say anything, do that. But because Talia said she don't agree with what you've done with EQ, mocking our dead child and what she said on kids, because you want a little bit of clout, because she does, regardless of being in the 70s and sell a few books, you then decided to come for me and go and tell a pack of lies about me. Number one, you don't know any circles that I've ever ran in. You don't know anything about my people at all, no one at all. I don't want to start speaking up on some people that you know, because I could, and rip them new ones, okay? But you've said and done a lot of bad things, and you seem to go against your family. Look, when Luke had fell out with Zach, you were gifting Zach. And when I'd fell out with Corey, you was gifting Corey. And when AQ had done the worst and said the worst than our kids and everything else, you were all against it. Oh, you shouldn't allow that. You shouldn't stand for that. And then you want to team up with Evil Queen. It's like the opposite. I'll join there's 8.8 million people on TikTok, but why go against the people, right, that go against your family members and gift them? It's strange to me, because if that would have been you, I would have never have done that, but that's what you did. And then you start shitting about my name. You also turn around and said, Sally, this is what you said. Oh, Ricksta, when you finish with Talia and all, me and Talia got an amazing relationship regardless of TikTok, and we'll live happily ever after. Do you know what I mean? I love the girl to pieces. She loves me regardless of what anybody thinks. This is fucking a TikTok platform. You turn around and said, oh, Ricksta, I'll give you your lifestyle, and don't you, when you come back down here with Talia, like, you know, I had an house in Stratford. I stopped at your house for 3 months in rehab. Tell everyone, have I ever stopped at your house since 2023? Once, not only once, and never been there since I left rehab in July. No, I haven't. You also said you'd give me money, Sal. Let me show you something, guys. Let me show everybody something, right? So this is every penny Sally has given me, right? Given me, right? Besides money that she's given me to gift her back in 23 to get her on the rankings. That's another story. If she wants to go there, I'll do that. Anyway, as you look at the bottom there, you've got 2023, October 2023, all right? But then you've got, this is everything she's ever given me. So you've got Friday, May the 2024, £100. Sally Livingston. Oh, you're going out for a meal with your girlfriend tonight, Ricksta? Oh, let me put a couple of quid in your bank. Do you know, which aunties do? Aunties do that. Do you know what I mean? My mum my nan would do that. They'd put a few quid in your bank. Just out of goodwill. I didn't ask for it. I didn't say, oh, Sally, have I ever asked her for a penny in my life? Say to Sally, has Ricky ever asked you for money? Has he ever asked you for anything? Has he ever asked you for a gift? Have you ever asked you for money? Ask her. Ask her, she's a woman of God, hasn't she? So has Ricky ever asked you for a tenner? I guarantee she says she's a woman of God. Just say, no, he hasn't. All right, so let me just add it up, right? But I removed her out my box because I don't want to shout and scream. Exactly the same with Sally yesterday, shouting my name and saying stuff about me for no fucking reason. She had no reason to say anything about me, but she wanted to drag me in because I need to put my missus on. You need your women to fight your battle, she said. What the fuck's battles? What battle have I got with you, Sally? Sally, what battle have I got with you? What's my battle with you? Hey, Sal, isn't blood thicker than fucking water? Do you throw your family under the bus? I'd never in my fucking life throw my family member under the bus. I'd never throw anything. I'd never say, even though me and Luke have had our fallouts, I'd never say anything bad about Luke on here. I would never in my fucking life say one bad thing about my cousin. Big up, Tams. One bad thing about my cousin on here. Never in a million years. I wouldn't fucking say anything bad about Sally. Do you understand what I mean? I'd knock a door and speak to her. She's a little old lady, but I'm talking knock a door to have a chat with her. But what she's did is out of order. It's fucking wrong. And rightfully so. Why my girlfriend is angry. But at the end of the day, I don't want to scream and shout in here because they've got a problem with each other. What they should have done is phoned each other up as adults and say shit. But you can't come in here and start saying stuff about me, Sal. I'm a bullshit. I'm a name bullshit. So you made me look like a fucking absolute cunt. Like a cunt. Do you understand what I mean? Yesterday, mugged me completely off, made me look like a... Yeah. No, listen, at the end of the day, I don't want any bad language about anyone. All right, at the end, not on fucking TikTok. This is a beef between family, and that's where it should have been kept with family. It should have been firing up lives, and that's it. If they want to call each other, see you next Tuesdays, that's all it. But Sally's obviously gone a little. Relax, babe.
I'm your partner.
Yeah, I know you are, but please relax, babe.
But let's remind ourselves, you haven't actually known Sally that long. So to come on here and disrespect you and for her to talk about your life and your past is outrageous.
No, I've known Sally all my life. She knows who I am. I was born. See, but you're talking about having anything to do with Sally over the upbringing of my life, then you're correct there. I didn't really know Sally. Didn't really have much. I probably met her in my life, I don't know, 20 times maybe over the years, maybe 15. I don't know, she lived all over the place.
So what? She sent a bit of sweet money for the kids. She sent a bit of this and that on his birthday. So what? You don't bring that onto the app. You don't tell the whole app, I've given you this money. Ricky's mother died and Sally stepped in like a mother to him. How dare she throw that in her face? When he was at his lowest,
Listen, but this is what I'm saying. People keep saying she stepped in like a mother to me. Listen, I went to a rehab. She helped me out, something that I'd never forget. I've helped Sally out in a couple of different things that I won't bring up at all. And that's it. It was as simple as that. You know what I mean? I'm keeping it as humble as fuck. I can scream like Sally. I can shout. But you know what I mean? A dignified silence, as they say. Let's keep it calm. We can all rage. We can all scream and shout. You know what I mean? The things that I know what's been said, it's not good. Like I said, between them pair, right? It's not good. So obviously, Talia defending me, but like I said, what Sally's done, as far as I'm concerned, in my eyes, is number one, there's 8.8 million people on TikTok. There's so many big creators out there, it's unreal. Why are you gifting the likes of Zach the Brat, gifting the likes of Corey, gifting the likes of Evil Queen, knowing that I don't get on with them, or Talia, or Luke, and what they've turned around and said the worst on kids, because if the shoe was on the other foot, you know what I mean? It'd be different. Like when you had your fallout with James Hope, Fat Freak, right? You were screaming from the hilltops about him. And I'm not going to tell you what was discussed between us. I'm not going to tell you what voice notes have been sent and thingy, because I'm not going to do that. But I could, but I haven't. But what you come on and saying, I'm renowned. What hurt me for anything, Sal, is this. You made out, don't you come back to me, son. Don't you made out to people that I've ever needed to live at your home, or I stopped there. And the last time I stayed at your house was 2023 in July. I think you need to tell everybody that, Sal, and be honest. And number two, have I in my whole life ever asked you for a penny? You've given me a couple of quid. I'm sure I've showed people you have. Have I ever asked you for money? Have I? No, I haven't. And what you done yesterday was attack me personally, and I haven't attacked you. All right.